Okay, testing. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Testing. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Let me know if we are live. Testing. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Let me know if we are live. It's been a while since I streamed. I apologize for that. I just haven't been consistent lately. I do have an excuse for last time. Last time I had a headache. Last time I had a really big headache, so I couldn't really um I couldn't really handle it. But yes, please let me know if we are live. Let me know if we are live. Okay, sorry, I just need to tweet, but once we do, I think we can get ready to start. Sorry for not streaming last week. I just had such a headache. I really didn't feel like it was right to actually try streaming. So I really wanted to actually do that. I really wanted to rest that day. But man, I honestly it's I've replaced my lax and it's just I don't know. It's sort of like I feel like I'm starting to develop that dread again before streams where it's sort of like, man, am I really going anywhere with this? Is this worth doing? Is this worth or trying, etc.? But then like I realize just how if we talked about Uma Musume a lot lately. Uma Musume has pretty much changed my life. But I think about in season 2 when Tokai Teo gets injured for the 3rd time. At some point she just feels like she feels like she has to give up racing. Like she's hurt herself too much. She might never become the same racer she was again. She wouldn't be satisfied with that. And then so she just takes a day off. You know what? Screw this. I'm retiring from racing. I'm just gonna have a good time. She goes to the arcade. She eats whatever she wants. She does a whole bunch of stuff. And she finishes all the fun stuff. And it's still like late in the afternoon. And she realizes, man, have the days always been this long? She's bored without racing. She doesn't feel fulfilled without racing. She doesn't feel right without racing. And that's sort of how I felt about streaming last week. Was like man, I have so much self-doubt about what I'm doing. I have so much self-doubt about like everything that's going on. But also like I can't imagine not streaming. Like it feels like my Monday nights are not fulfilling without doing this stream. It really is fun to do it, and even if I can't think of anything, I feel like I really should be trying, and I feel bad for not trying as hard. I use Lowry's seasoning salt a lot. Okay, but I'm not sure I've heard about that. What's up with Lowry's? Is what makes it different from like normal table salt? I did have another plan today but I feel like I want to properly research it before I do it. Obviously, I won't do a hyper scripted thing like I did with the freaking what was that called again? The Wisconsin old fashioned video. I definitely want to script some of it because it is important to tell this story properly, but I also don't want to turbo script it to the point that it's kind of cringe the way the last time was. As point being, I really wanted to do an episode about Carrie Nation. If you've never heard of Carrie Nation, she is a she was a feminist from like the late 1800s, early 1900s, and she was fighting really hard for prohibition, and her story is really fascinating because of because she was not peaceful. She was not a peaceful protester. She literally went into bars. She went into saloons and smashed them up with rocks. Like threw rocks into the bar, or smashed up all the whiskey bottles, all the bottles, also the glass, etc. Literally at some point took... Let me actually grab a knife real fast. Now, obviously, my fruit knife is not gonna do justice to my piddly little fruit knife, but she legit went into saloons with an axe and just started smashing up the place. I think she even has a quote about like, ladies, you will not know thrill in life until you smash. I really need to like, I did some studying on her. I really want to do an episode on her, and ironically, I do want to make a cocktail for her. I'm sure she would be very, very mad at me for making a cocktail based on her, given that she hated alcohol. But I do want to try making something for her because Carrie Nation is one of the funniest historical figures. I've been getting really into like stories from the Roaring '20s, stories from Prohibition, in like pre and post, just because it's so that time period for America is so fascinating. So I really, really want to do a few. I want to do a few more stuff like that. Like How to Drink is on a tear on like, oh, what people actually drank in speakeasies during the Prohibition, because there are a lot of Prohibition cocktails that are still famous now. They aren't all the best cocktail. They weren't all the most popular cocktails at the time. Ironically, they're not the ones that were most popular somehow didn't stand the test of time. And then so that's an interesting story. He talked about like, oh, the reason why the Roaring '20s was so interesting was due to a certain outlaw who like ran a bunch of speakeasies, and she was a huge entertainer. Like her speakeasy was the place to go because she had so many like celebrities stop by and serve good drinks, and was a very funny person. And then also, like pre-Prohibition, there's a very interesting story about, once again, Carrie Nation, who is just kind of a crazy person. Oh, I'm trying to figure out the toggle too. Okay, there is the toggle. I was trying to figure out the toggle for that. But yeah, that's probably maybe okay. I'm gonna try to like do proper research on her next week so I can properly do it, or at the very least script something for her, because I really want to do something for Carrie Nation next week. This week though, we have something a little unique. I think I might have to grab 2 bottles for this. Give me a second. One sec. It's red orange. I forget what's in it. I think paprika. Let me see. Salt, sugar, paprika, turmeric, onion, garlic, and other flavorings. It's not pure salt. Oh, that sounds good, honestly. So it's like so it's just a seasoning blend all on its own. Okay. That sounds convenient, honestly, because I know like a lot of, say, burger recipes are supposed to put like salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, etc. And it's like it's always the same thing. So it's like why not just make a blend? And obviously you can make a blend yourself, but that's very convenient. I know like Italian dishes tend to use the same seasonings as well, the same like dried herbs and spices, and then so that's why they sell like big old bottles, not bottles, but like, you know, big old shakers worth of just Italian seasoning, which is just everything you would use anyways. You don't have to buy them individually. You just buy this single thing for all your Italian food. Alright, give me just a sec. Lowry's with an A. Ah, okay. The speakeasy lady might be Texas Guinan. That's exactly the one. I knew her name was Texas. I just forgot her last name. But yeah, Texas Guinan is like How to Drink did an amazing story about her, and it was so fascinating. It was super awesome. Hello there. Hello, Hacker Troller. Hi. Some ketchup? Yeah. So that's the subject of today, actually. So the bottles you see in front of you are elderflower liqueur. Some people call this bartender's ketchup, and it's because you'll find a lot of cocktails around. You'll find a lot of cocktails also in various fancier restaurants, various places that add a little elderflower liqueur to their cocktails, and I find that it's elderflower liqueur, or does add a little unique sweetness to it. It feels as though you can add elderflower liqueur to anything, and it does add a bit of something to it. I believe this is the exact right time to put a je ne sais quoi. Bartender's ketchup sounds like an awful drink Craig stumbled upon. Also, hi, how are you? Yeah, no, bartender's ketchup. So here's the thing. I've heard bartender's ketchup referred to as two things. One is elderflower liqueur. Two is actually Angostura bitters, because Greg uses Angostura bitters so much. I actually kind of wanted to explore that at some point, like what really is bartender's ketchup, because I could argue that nutmeg is bartender's ketchup as well, at least in the 1800s. In the 1800s, they put nutmeg on everything. So it might honestly be nutmeg. It could also be either Angostura bitters. I do think, as far as I understand, elderflower liqueur is generally considered the bartender's ketchup. So what we're gonna do today is just try a bunch of classic cocktails, just really simple stuff, like probably a margarita with a splash of elderflower liqueur, a daiquiri with a splash of elderflower liqueur, an old fashioned with a splash of elderflower liqueur. I've actually made one of my favorite versions of IWC, an improved whiskey cocktail, is just, instead of using maraschino liqueur, I put elderflower liqueur, and that was actually amazing. And also a couple of my favorite VTuber drinks that I've made for other VTubers. Alas, I don't have strawberry, so I couldn't make one for you right now, nor soju. I need soju as well. Soju and strawberries. Yunanini, formerly of Sundaria, now she's a indie. One of my favorite VTuber cocktails I made was for her, and it's like it's curacao, part elderflower liqueur, and then base soju with the muddled strawberries, and it's so good. It really is so good. And so I want to see, like, will we actually think that elderflower liqueur is Bartender's ketchup? It just makes everything better. Sort of like, you put hot sauce on anything, it makes it better. Let's see. First of all, I want to try this because I've never actually had Saint Germain. This is industry standard stuff. Whenever people add elderflower liqueur, this is what they use. I've been using Saint Elder just because it was cheaper, and it's also been really good for me. It's also been a really good, strong choice for adding elderflower liqueur. By the way, hi Moo. Sorry, I really should have greeted you earlier too. How are you doing, Moo? How are you doing, NJ? Nutmeg is the solid ketchup. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You're learning so much tonight. I'm glad. This has been something I've been thinking about for a while, but I've just never gotten around to it. And I figured, like why not? This seems honestly, it seems like an easy idea. That's kind of why I did. I've been kind of creatively bankrupt lately, but also I'm kind of excited to see what elderflower liqueur does to stuff. You're good. You were in the mix zone, and I was taking notes. Awesome. I'm glad you're learning. Showed off my Halloween costume on stream earlier and getting ready for re-debut at the end of the month. Oh, hell yeah. Nice. You're going to have to show me later. But that's awesome. Nice. Yeah, we can just take a shot glass of this stuff. Well, no. Whatever. They're my bottles. I'm just going to sip these directly because the flavor profile of this is odd. In a very good way. It's just odd. I know it's very sweet. Yeah, so what this tastes like, and this sounds very strange, even on the nose, is boba. It tastes straight up like boba, and I think that's what makes this such an effective, quote-unquote, Bartender's ketchup, is that adding like that sort of boba-y chewiness is like obviously it's liquid, you don't actually chew on it, but it's because it invokes the idea of boba in your head. You then have that sort of experience of like chewing on boba as you sip your drink, and I think that's what rounds out these drinks and makes them so exciting when you add elderflower liqueur to them. And that might be why this is such an effective ketchup. Like, I don't think you would ever make a drink that's pure elderflower liqueur. It would just be too cloying, it'd be too sweet, it'd be too much. It wouldn't be right. But as an accent to pretty much anything, I feel like it adds such an interesting dimension. Yeah, it's kind of fruity. It has slight herbaceousness. But then, like, what it reminds me of so much of flavor wise is ultimately like something boba-y, lychee-y. But the thing is, that's this. I've never actually had Saint Germain. I want to see what Saint Germain is like, because if it's significantly different, that could very much affect the flavor of the cocktails. It will affect the flavor of the cocktails. Doing okay, just a bit tired trying to get to today's Inktober done before his zone out drawing. Oh yeah, people always do some really fun drawing challenges. That's awesome. I don't think there are any other brands of elderflower liqueur here. Only Saint Germain. Yeah, Saint Germain seems to be the standard. I always see Saint Germain everywhere. Ooh. Ooh. It's like richer. How do I describe this though? It's like earthier in a way. It's like more herbal up front, more grassy up front, but then it sells into that boba, that sort of boba-iness into it later. I'm not sure. I think I actually like the Saint Elder better, but the Saint Germain is definitely a more complex one. It probably in a cocktail adds a lot more interesting evolution than this. So I think raw I prefer the Saint Elder, but then I think from a flavor standpoint, the Saint Germain will be better. We'll see. I'll probably just default to the Saint Germain for that reason, but we should probably try both. Okay, well, I know what we're starting with. Just a good old-fashioned, well, actually, old-fashioned or IWC. Porque no los dos. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna make an old-fashioned to make with the Elder, and then we'll make an IWC for the Germain. Sadly, alcohol is expensive for here. Yeah, importing bottles is never an easy task. Okay, so well, I should make it my way. So yeah, I mean, I make it a pretty standard way, but I use a slightly fancier syrup. So just for any old-fashioned, very simple, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Got it. Oh my goodness. That was nearly a disaster. I have some homemade Demerara syrup. Want to say about 1/4 to 1/2 ounce. And I say often, this is a 2-to-1. It's a simple syrup. You should always make your syrups 2-to-1 because they will be shelf stable. These syrups have been staying here for months. It's just unrefrigerated and they're fine. They taste exactly the same as they were fresh. If you make what people call semi-rich or 1-to-1, which they call simple syrup, they would call mine 2-to-1 rich. This should be the normal. If you make it 1-to-1, 1-to-1 or 1.5-to-1, it risks spoiling. You would have to refrigerate and it won't last forever. Whereas at 2-to-1 or greater, there's actually too much sugar for bacteria to live in it. It is toxic to bacteria. I usually make it with the Yellowstone bourbon, but I kind of want to switch it up today. Yeah, let's do it. Gonna need to get to the bottom of this bottle anyways. I do like some rye. I've been wanting to buy some new rye as well, so let's use some of the Whistle Pig. Rye is a lot more spicy than bourbon. Bourbon tends to be pretty sweet, whereas rye is pretty spicy, pretty intense. It's very good. Okay. And let's just give this a nice stir. A lot of Americans, we have such a craving for bourbon, especially once our distillers started back up again after Prohibition. But we used to love rye so much, and it's part of why too, like, we relied it. I'm not sure which is the cause and which is the effect, but I know whatchamacallit, Canadian whiskey is basically rye. Obviously, legally speaking, rye is rye if it's made in America. Like part of the definition is that it's made in America, but Canadian whiskey is very much like rye. And so I'm not sure if we developed a fondness for rye because of Canada or because of if we developed a fondness for rye naturally, or if it was because of Canada after Prohibition banned all the alcohol and we had to illegally import rye from Canada. Lemon peel. Normally it should be an orange peel, but I don't have oranges, and any citrus peel would be good here. The signature no Natsu style. Yep. Whenever you're peeling a lemon, by the way, do try to do it near the glass, because as you're peeling it, some oils are going to release into it. And then hopefully you can see it. It's hard to see sometimes. Okay, I'm not sure if you got a good visual indicator there, but when you squeeze the lemon peel, it might not look like you're doing anything, but you're actually imparting a ton of flavor into it. And then just go ahead and drop that into the drink as well, so that it can continue to leach the oils out of the peel. Boy, that's lovely. It's actually been a long time since I've had a normal old-fashioned. This rye is really straightforward. It's sort of why I'm not as into it as normal, but it's still lovely. It's sort of the perfect version of rye to help you explain how rye is, because it's so, I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but rye-y. I'm not 100% sure how to do it. But you get the signature rye flavor. You get the oakiness. I always get like a little bit of like crispy apple from whiskey in general. I always get a little bit of like caramel from it. That might be from the Demerara. Super nice. Super. It's a relatively less complex whiskey, but it's hitting the spot right now. It's been a while since I've had rye, especially a super pure rye like this one. I've since making the heart grow fonder for rye. Yeah, it's fun seeing how trends in America do for various liquors. So, with that in mind, what if we added some ketchup to it? I'm not sure actually if I properly showed it off. We used Whistle Pig rye, and then what if we added just a bit of ketchup to this? What if we added, say, half an ounce of elderflower liqueur to this? What does that do to this? Does it just instantly make it better the way, say, a ketchup or a hot sauce makes any of your food better? Wholly unnecessary, but just adds a little something more to it. Ooh. I think it might. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It adds just like a little richness to it. Just like it rounds off the edges of like the sharp rye spiciness of it. And then it's just like velvety. It smooths out the edges. It adds like a nice base to the drink. And then like that boba-y flavor, it feels like you've added a weird sort of chewiness to the drink. And even though obviously it's all liquid, but it's like weirdly chewy now, and it's, oh my goodness. Yeah, we didn't even add that much to it, but it just adds. I think that's the thing with elderflower liqueur. It just operates on such a different level. Like, okay, like here's like the range of flavors for everything else, and then like elderflower liqueur just sits on its own level. And so whenever you add elderflower liqueur, it always adds just even if it's not particularly complex, just one more step of evolution, because it doesn't clash with anything else. It does accentuate everything else for being on its own level, or at the very least doesn't clash with anything. So, it might not synergize with anything, but it doesn't clash with anything, and I do think it synergizes decently well. Yeah, because like that boba blends with like part of the spice, part of the lemon, part of the carameliness of the rye, of this drink in general. Yeah. If you wanted to make it slightly fancier, you wanted to make an old-fashioned slightly fancier, adding some elderflower liqueur does seem to do the trick already. Perhaps there's no rhyme or reason, just rhymes. Oh my goodness. I learned about Texas Guinan because of an old detective comic strip. They called Dick Tracy based on a crook named Texie Garcia. Yeah. So in that video from How to Drink, when he talked about Texas Guinan, he explained to you that, like, even if you've never heard of Texas Guinan, you have, because of the fact that so many characters, both real life actors playing a character for like a movie or a stage show, or cartoon characters of varying types, not just from DC or other comics, but like other tons of characters who were based on Texas Guinan. This is kind of brash, loud, old, antagonistic in a funny way type of lady, and she was such a great character. She was such a funny person. Like, I you should watch the video. It's he keeps changing the title of the video, but it's a video about Texas Guinan, and he starts the video with a story about one of the times she was arrested, and she's been taken to court, and the prosecution has so much against her. It's like, oh yeah, we have proof you were selling liquor, we have proof you were illegally operating a speak, we have proof that this and that you were being loud and obnoxious, is whatever. But she managed to get away scot-free because she was so well loved by people. And to be frank, everyone hated the government during Prohibition because it was a stupid idea to ban all the alcohol. And it was this hilarious story. It's like, sure, like she's claiming like, oh, I had no idea there was alcohol in those bottles. And it's like, surely you didn't think it was tea, Miss Guinan. I wouldn't know. I only drink coffee. And like, she's making the whole courtroom laugh with her antics. She clearly doesn't have a case, but she's doing a good job, like, getting people on her side anyways. And there was the sort of thing where it's like, sure, the prosecution had plenty of reason to lock up Texas Guinan. The reason the jury turned against the prosecution was because they had too much evidence. If you wanted to bust Texas Guinan, you could have busted her on the first visit. If you sent like a federal agent into one of her speakeasies, you would get served a drink immediately. You would encounter loud music and loud performers and rowdy people, and even like let's be honest, for one, everyone in there's a criminal already because Prohibition banned all the alcohol. Two, oh, the disco light's going. Two, there were actual like mobsters inside of those buildings, so you could bust them for colluding with like the actual mafia. If you wanted to bust the Texas Guinan, you would have been able to do so on the first visit. Federal agents kept going into Texas Guinan's establishments, enjoying a bunch of drinks, meeting with celebrities, bringing their wives to it, having a good time on having a good time at these speakeasies before deciding to actually bust her. And that's what the jury had a problem with. It's like, oh, so you were just spending government money on having a good time before you decide enough was enough and tried to bust her. And that's why she went away scot-free. Unanimously, the jury chose to acquit Texas Guinan. We love an anti-government drinking queen. Yeah, no. Her story is just absolutely fascinating, absolutely awesome. Again, like there's so many stories from Prohibition, pre-Prohibition, slightly post-Prohibition that are so fascinating. Even that dead era of mixology that I talked about with the Wisconsin Old Fashioned episode it's fascinating in how bad those drinks were. Maybe I need to do my own episode on that, but those drinks were truly bad. I truly do not like me a Wisconsin Old Fashioned. Pops and nothing. I need to add you to Hunt. Oh yeah, remind me. I'll shoot you my user ID later on. I have a pretty good rice shower you can borrow too, so hopefully that helps you as well. I'm a simple man. If you take away my drinks, I will take your knees. So, yep. They would never be able to pass Prohibition, and they really shouldn't. I think there is something to be said about making everything legal, but heavily. How do I how do I say this? Because there's another country that does something even more than this, and I think that's why they don't have significant drug problems. It's like that's the word I'm looking for. Make everything legal but heavily regulated. And then so it's like when you made alcohol illegal, that's what crime shot up. Yeah, regulated. When they made alcohol illegal, crime shot up because, well, if everything's illegal and it caused so much problems, if everything's illegal, that means like it doesn't matter if you're making a light beer or like literal Everclear. You might as well just make your drinks as strong as possible. Make them as cheaply and efficiently as possible, even at the cost of safety and health. Like the way people made some bathtub gins back in the day was so dangerous that you drink like a drop of it, literally just a drop, because like the impurities that were in it were so toxic. You have even a drop of that stuff and you go permanently blind. Like it was scary stuff. It was dangerous stuff back then. And so like, and then obviously like mob rule, like mafia's taking over as they start a bunch of speakeasies of their own. Like there's a bunch of people just us openly breaking the law, not just us in terms of like drinking, but like all the other problems. Like that's why we heavily regulate it. Now we can have such delicious drinks that are very strong. This is a very strong drink. I'm already getting slightly drunk. But it's much better controlled. It's much better. It's a lot. This will not make me permanently blind from a single drop. It is because it's so heavily controlled. Because it's legal but so heavily controlled, you can like prohibition worked. Let's be real. Like if the goal for all the problems prohibition had, if the goal was to stop America from drinking so heavily, it worked. We don't drink nearly as much as we did pre-prohibition because it used to be normal to drink like 4 to 5 drinks a day and go crazy. And it was horrible. Like you know, men were very rowdy. Saloons became a specter of male oppression. That's why prohibition started as a feminist movement, which I want to talk about one day because Carrie Nation is so fascinating. But that's like prohibition ultimately ended up being a good thing, but because we had to learn the mistake that you can't just ban alcohol, you have to heavily regulate it. The point I was trying to make in terms of another country, I think it might be, I don't think it's Czechoslovakia, but there is a European country where you can possess almost anything. You can possess crack cocaine. You can possess weed, which even we're realizing weed is fine. You can possess some like really nasty drugs because like it's on you to be able to control yourself if you find yourself with these dangerous substances. But obviously, I believe the sale is still illegal. Like, there's various parts about it that are very illegal, and so it is still functionally banned, but it's not technically banned. So if you have a legitimate reason to use it somehow, and you obtained it through somehow legally means, that's fine. Because as the government's just gonna say, well, you're responsible for yourself at that point. I think it's a similar thing with various quote unquote banned foods in America. Like you could never make haggis in America, which is a Scottish delicacy. It's a very bizarre thing. It's like a sheep's lung packed with a bunch of weird meat in it, including like the liver and other entrails. Apparently, it's very delicious. Like, people who have tried haggis love it. You just can't think too much about what's in it. It is technically illegal to make haggis in America because you can't buy or sell lungs, animal lungs, because of the health concerns related to buying lungs. What can end up in lungs. However, if oh, it's stomach. Okay, sheep's stomach. Yeah. I know it's both lungs and like other type stuff, but the point being, like, if you somehow ended up with haggis in front of you, possibly because you own a farm, you raise some sheep, and you can just make haggis yourself, that's not illegal. If you ended up with haggis in front of you, it is not illegal for you to eat it. It's just illegal for you to sell any part of that because of the fact that it contains in stuff you're not legally allowed to sell. Kind of like how you can make your own mead but can't sell it. Oh my god, this is so good. This is honestly one of the best old fashions I've had, and it's just because I added a little elderflower liqueur to it. Holy moly. Yeah, that's a biohazard issue. Gotta clean that thing out due to the stomach acid and whatnot. Though some butcher shops have stomach meat, you have to go to an Asian or Mexican store. Yeah, I've never... Yeah, I was pretty sure stomach is okay. I know lungs are illegal. I'm pretty sure lung is legal. Ah, that was a lovely old fashioned, and all we did was add a little elderflower liqueur to it. Let's move on to the IWC. It is the fancier old fashioned, so it'll be a similar process, but let's see how some elderflower liqueur improves that. Honestly, I've never seen lung in any dishes. Yeah, because you can't legally sell it in America, as far as I understand. Yeah, give me just a second. I'm gonna grab another glass, and I'm gonna grab another glass, grab another ice, and we'll make a IWC. So de wa te emu apurao. I'm sorry. Whatchamacallit? I've had that song stuck in my head for so long this week. The fucking if you've ever watched Umayon, which is the Uma Musume Chibi series, it is such a it's so brain rotty, and like one of them is just TM opera doing like an actual opera, doing an actual like little play for 3 minutes, and it's so annoyingly catchy. In fact, I'm gonna make you suffer. I'm gonna make you people suffer through it real fast. Give me a sec, because this needs to melt a little bit because this ice is a little too big. Oh, something's about to play. Okay, never mind. Okay, TM Opera O song. Okay. TM Opera O. Sorry. I had to get that out there. I had to get that out there. When it comes to organs, I've seen heart and liver. Yeah, I've seen those too. When it comes to not just America, I'm thinking of other countries. Yes, same. Can't think of any Chinese dishes that utilize lungs. No, but they've used some bizarre stuff. I know, like for whatever reason, they like to use tigers in a bunch of medicine, and I'm like, why? Latin, Indian, Middle East, and so. Looking it up, lungs are a natural filter. So along with getting the stomach and other bodily fluid kinase, it can be allergens such as pollen too. That makes sense too. Filter. Guess you don't want to eat that stuff. Guess it's like a pufferfish of the livestock world. Has to be done perfectly or it can be really bad. Right, yeah. Don't hear of any dishes that use kidneys either. I could swear there was one. Like, I mean, we have Rocky Mountain oysters, after all, but if you don't know what those are bull balls. There are no light stick emojis, but imagine me waving them here. And don't worry, I've survived Shika Noko 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 Kloshland. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was, I haven't watched that show yet, but I wanted to wait till it finished, but I'm sure the brain rot was super heavy. What? Let's get weird. Let's go crazy a little bit. With an improved whiskey cocktail, there is a consensus, but part of the thing with an improved whiskey cocktail is that it's just a fancier version of the old fashioned that had a million different variations based on whose bar you went to. So let's say it's 1892. It's 1892 and you come into my bar. Let's call it the Slosh Samurai. So this is a lore thing that I've been wanting to decide on. I can't decide what I should call like my little home base for like when I get to visit you, because I'm a Ronin lost in time. I've thought about the Wanderer's Respite. That's the going title I've been going to. Slosh Samurai does sound really fun. The Wandering Ronin is also something I like, but I like Wanderer's Respite because I kind of want to, for my lore, I wanted to call myself the Wanderer, but we'll see. Anyways, so our improved whiskey cocktail with elderflower liqueur. I think we're gonna make this extra weird, so I'm gonna start with grapefruit bitters. 1 dash. And whenever you have a dasher that has one of these things, these little like squeeze tubes, like one tube's worth is a dash. One dash of orange bitters. One bar spoon of curacao. Instead of 1 bar spoon of maraschino, I'm going to go with half an ounce of our Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. Okay, that's a little more than half an ounce, but that's fine. It just means it's more opportunity to see what this does. I forgot to rinse the glass with absinthe. That's an actually important step, but that's fine. An alternative to that, which How to Drink has found is similar enough. So when you rinse a glass with absinthe, what you're doing is that before you do anything to the glass, you coat the outside of it with absinthe. That amount is roughly the same as about a dash of absinthe. So I'm just I don't have a dasher bottle worth of absinthe, but what you can do is put your thumb over the lid and just kind of there we go, a dash of absinthe. God, I love absinthe. Absinthe is so good. And then 2 ounces of, I'm thinking Angel's Envy. Angel's Envy sounds really good right now. Especially with what we're about to do with it. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Oh boy, that's a hell of a wash line. Oh my goodness. That's actually okay. I was worried for a second, but that's actually the perfect wash line. If you wanted to know the secret to a good cocktail, it's making sure you get to the absolute top of your glass without spilling. That is what makes for a good wash line. Shows how well thought out your cocktail is. Now, can I stir this without disturbing it too much? Absolutely fantastic. Oh my god. Multiple locations, that could work. I like the idea that like this bar that we meet up with in every time I can is locked in space-time. So I'd like to imagine that it's one location, but multiple locations make sense. I actually had a very interesting idea for honestly a second outfit already. Obviously I love this design too, but I actually had a fun idea for both, because I'm a Ronin that got sent to the future here in 2025. I also had the idea of a futuristic outfit, a cyberpunky outfit. It would still make me a samurai. It would still make me a Ronin. And I thought a really fun idea would be to have it would be the same location. So imagine like the bar we're in right now is just a single location, just a nice little shack. Like it existed in like the 1400s. Or like probably I need to remember the exact time frame for Japan. Like it existed way back before. In like the medieval Japan times. It still exists in like 2076, when it's futuristic, cyberpunky, and whatnot. It's obviously been modernized. And then so I thought a super cool little scenario would be what if like you can see flashbacks of the same building in medieval Japan to even 2076, way in the future, in a cyberpunk future, and it's still the same building and I'm still there. In medieval Japan as the Ronin you see now, and in the future as like a cyberpunky sword wielding weeaboo. Let's be honest. Anyways, oh yeah, final step, some lemon zest. Ooh, you can actually visually see the oils dancing on top of the ice here. Oh, this is good. There we go. So, the improved whiskey cocktail with some elderflower liqueur, as I would make it if you were to come to my bar. Ooh, okay, that the lemon peel was a little too good. All I taste is the lemon oils right now. My audio was bugging out for a bit. I'm good now, right? I'm good now. Let me know. Not only can you mix, but you can cook. Yeah, no, I have some exciting ideas for the lore. I still haven't decided fully what the lore is, but I have like very specific ideas that sound really fun. Now that looks tasty. Oh, it's very tasty, honestly. Audio's good now? Okay, awesome. Okay. We've gotten past the lemon zest. Let me just try to give this a little bit better of a stir. Now try to get a little more incorporated into it. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Ups. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot more herbal than I expect an IWC to be. The whiskey's honestly a little more muted than usual. I think that might be dilution from the ice. There's a lot more dilution from the ice. Yeah, herbal up front from the Saint Germain. A little bit of that velvet roundness. Surprisingly, the Angel's Envy is pretty muted. Somehow. I think this is a rare case where I think it covers up a little too much. Oh no, there we go. There we go. I need to lay it dance on my tongue a little longer, but there we go. Yeah, we're getting the fruit jam, the peanut. Yeah, now I see it. So we have the herbalness from the herbal sweetness from the Saint Germain, plus that like velvety round boba-ness is of the Saint Germain. That accents the kind of like peanut butter and jelly of the Angel's Envy. Finishing on the nice oak, we get a lot of like the basting herbs from the absinthe. Oh yeah, that's what's weird about this. I rarely use the grapefruit bears, but the grapefruit bears, they're weird in a good way. I just couldn't place why it was so weird for me, but yeah, that's the grapefruit bears. Yeah, yeah, because I use super fruity bitters, the grapefruit bears and the orange bears. Yeah. Okay, that's strange. That's very bizarre, but that's very good. Ooh. Okay. Let me try to note this properly. Let me try to note this properly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Brown sugar, grapefruit, apples. There's the jelly and the peanut. Yeah, some like basting herbs and an oaky finish. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. It's very like I said, I intentionally made this weird just to like really emphasize is that IWCs can be made different, but I okay, now that I've properly been able to taste it and properly appreciate, yeah, this is a really good IWC. It's just that like the IWC I'm used to making is the standard traditional way, the consensus way. But like I said, like an IWC might be different depending on whatever bar you go to in the 1890s. And then so if my IWC would be way different from like a standard IWC, but it's yeah. Yeah. That's really good. Do I think the elderflower liqueur improves this significantly? Do I think that this makes the drink better just by adding it? I think it does. I think it does. I think it does because maraschino liqueur is its own unique thing. In fact, let's try that. Let's try that. I just wanna test this out because maraschino liqueur is actually pretty important to the balance of this drink. I think that's why I had a little bit of problem with it before. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just add the bar spoon of maraschino liqueur it's supposed to have. Splash too much ketchup? Maybe, maybe. Maraschino liqueur is so good. Honestly. Yeah, yeah, okay. The maraschino liqueur was necessary. I think it rounds out this drink in a way that's, yeah, now this is a lot more recognizable. It brings out all the flavors I wanted from it. From the bourbon, from the beers. Yeah, yeah, the maraschino liqueur was necessary. However, the elderflower liqueur accentuates it in a really nice way that does add to it. So like I mentioned, it's I don't think okay, this is a huge learning point. I don't think you can use elderflower liqueur, or I guess I use this one. I don't think you can use elderflower liqueur to replace any ingredients, but if you add it on top of a completed cocktail, it does add a lot of good flavor to the drink in a way that like you would expect the ketchup to be, you would expect the hot sauce to be, like a nice hot sauce on your burrito. Yeah, yeah. Okay, So that's an important lesson. Elderflower liqueur is never a replacement. Let's see. Do I want to do a margarita next, or do I want to do a daiquiri? Daiquiri this. Ooh. No, I have an idea. I have an idea. Okay. The next drink we're going to make is going to be a caipirinha, but with added elderflower liqueur. Give me a sec. Splash too much ketchup? I don't think that was the problem. I think it was just omitting the maraschino. The mixology seasoning. Yeah. That's why I'm realizing what this is. Okay. Also, woo! I'm getting really drunk now, but that's what's fun about this stream, ain't it? Whoa. VTuber mode acting up. Okay, that explains why it was so slow. Okay. We good now? Let's do the overhead shot for this one, actually. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a lime. It's not the sexiest lime, but it should be fine. And we're just gonna cut this into eighths. Cut in half, cut that half into half, and cut those halves into halves. And just toss them directly into your cup. So we got a whole lime cut into eighths into our glass. Now, we are going to... Where did I put it? Did I not? Okay, I didn't bring it over. Give me a sec. Now we're gonna take raw sugar. Not simple syrup. Actually, wait. Okay. Sorry, I skipped the step. Oh, don't fall over, please. Okay. So we have our limes inside of the... We have our limes inside of our glass. And we're just gonna muddle this until it's just into a paste, just as much as possible to squeeze all the juice out, so to press out all the oils, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Oh, I really should drink a glass of water. Don't worry. I tend to drink lots of water after the stream, but I probably should grab a glass of water later on. But we really want to just press this down into a pulp. We want to squeeze out all the juice, press out all the oils. Get this as nice and muddled as possible. And technically speaking, I've told this story before. A caipirinha is basically what Brazilians call any sour. The way the broader bartending world understands it is a Brazilian daiquiri in a sense, but the rustic nature of just pressing limes into a pulp like this, having that's pulp, and then using raw sugar instead of simple syrup is what makes it distinctly a caipirinha, making it a lot. It makes it feel a lot fancier. Well, it fancier ironically because it's like a lot more rustic. So as you can see, we have it all kind of pulverized. Grab a water of glass. Oh, you guys. Thank you for looking out for me. Okay. Now, what you doing today? Thanks for stopping by. The drunk face gets me every time. I'm glad. What is it? We're making a caipirinha right now, but we're gonna splash some elderflower liqueur into it. So with the caipirinha, once again, Brazilians would just typically call anything that's a sour a caipirinha, and we'll talk about sours one day. I've been wanting to do a sours episode just to show you how versatile that is. Gosh. Auto lagging right now. As someone with chronic migraines, hangovers do not sound fun. Oh, they're not. They absolutely are not. And I get migraines too sometimes, so it's not great. Anyways, we're gonna get three heaping bar spoons of sugar. So just try to grab as much sugar as possible with each scoop. I like my caipirinha quite sweet, to be honest. My mic is lagging? Okay. I wish it would stop doing that, but I can't control everything. Oh my goodness, I am getting a little bit, it's a crazy drunk. Okay. And then what makes this distinctly Brazilian is cachaça, which is... Cachaça is unique enough that it's its own... cachaça is unique enough that it's its own thing, but it is very similar to rum with enough of a difference that it's unique. So it's I would say it's basically Brazilian rum. I think that might upset some Brazilians, so I'm not gonna say that definitively. Cachaça is definitely its own thing, but it is close enough to rum that it's why I think this is like a Brazilian daiquiri. And know if the mic is okay. Test, 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 test. We good? We good? Are we live? Is the microphone live? We back? Okay. Okay. Awesome. Sorry about this. My mic is one of the most inconsistent things in the world. I've been thinking about buying a new audio interface, but also they are expensive as frick. So I don't think I can do it. Honestly, like one of the most selfish things I've been thinking about doing is I wanted to add like a little counter on the top of the screen somehow. Like some kind of counter that's like, oh, rent goals. Like my rent is $500 a month and I would like I I've talked often about how I really want to make streaming a thing, make this as successful as possible. And so like I really as selfish as that sort of thing is, I do want to try like putting something like that. I don't know if it's super offensive to do, but if you guys are fine with it, I like I would probably put like a dono goal $500 just for the rent, a dono goal this and that. So yeah, and maybe that could help fund the mic as well. Point being, maybe that helps fund the mic as well, because I don't think I can afford buying a mic right now. Just get a standalone mic. Whatchamacallit, I really like the audio interface, so. Oh, I mean, I've spent like $300 on this current audio setup, so like it feels weird to move on from that. I've been seeing people eat raw on TikTok, and it's crazy. Yeah, I've ranted about this before. I don't like making TikTok drinks. I don't like making TikTok style like in some sense rage bait, in other sense just like lazy content. I want to make good stuff for you guys, so I don't want to do that type of stuff. Must use Oshi support. Don't spend beyond your means. I know it's selfish, that's why I'm not really pushing for it, but it's something I've been thinking about. But yeah, let me fill this with ice real fast and we'll actually no, I forgot something. The elderflower liqueur. The bartender's ketchup, as we say. Half an ounce of our bartender's ketchup. Alright, be right back. I'm just gonna fill this with ice. Some part of me wants to use my fancy clear ice, but also, given the rustic nature of this drink, I think using just my fridge freezer ice that is going to be cloudy kind of adds to it in a way, so that should be fine. And little secret trick. Whoa, calm down. Okay. Little secret trick. You can just use the small tin of your shaker with anything. The small tin of your shaker, your shakers will work with any other cup. It's just better with the bigger shaker because they tend to fit together, but as long as it has ice, let's shake this. I tend to give it a little bit of an extra shake for about like 20-25 seconds instead of my usual 12-second shake, just because we have raw sugar in there and I really want to make sure that this is properly incorporated. Cloudy ice for spare. Like my. And then we're just gonna open pour this. We want to get all those lime oils. We want to serve this with the ice it was shaken on because it carries all the flavor. Gives more character to it. And there we go. A caipirinha. I think actually the light is adding a horse shadow that this doesn't need. Yeah. A caipirinha with elderflower liqueur in it. Ooh. 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 Oh my goodness, this is so good. Holy shit, okay. To be honest, I was skeptical. Like, I knew about the whole bartender's ketchup thing, and I do like elderflower liqueur. I genuinely do. Like, whenever I want to, like, fancy up drink, I always add a little elderflower liqueur. Is it seriously, like, truly, like, you can add it to anything and it makes it taste better? Oh my goodness. This is so good. Like, I've had a million caipirinhas. Like, caipirinhas are so easy to make. They're 3 ingredients. They're so easy to make. They require so few tools. Like, oh my goodness. Oh, it's a caipirinha is already so good on its own, but like, oh my god, I'm actually drooling. Like, sorry, I should probably like actually try to note this properly, like a professional. Yeah, so you get the velvetyness that I've been talking about right off the bat. And then like the weirdness, the funkiness of the cachaça, where it's like rum but like offbeat in a good way. So you get like rum but offbeat in a good way with the cachaça. You get a little bit of that like rum-like funkiness. The raw lime with some of the pulpiness and the oils adds a lot more lime, like pure lime flavor than just the concept of just lime juice. So you get like a richer lime experience. and then the sweetness just binds it all together. Like, it's a very sweet drink. It binds it all together, and I put a lot more sugar than people normally do. Plus, elderflower liqueur is very sweet itself. Yeah, and then you just taste like the boba-y flavor of it on top of that. So it's like you get the velvetyness, the like boba chew, in addition to like the cachaça's Jamaican. So cachaça reminds me most of Jamaican rum, which has that like funky banana-iness to it, that rotten banana pleasantness. That sounds weird if you've never had Jamaican rum, but if you have Jamaican rum, you would understand why I'm saying, which is Jamaican rum has this distinct like imagine the smell of rotten bananas, like that weird, somewhat sickly sweet smell. That's what it tastes like, but in a good way. And then so like that's what, whenever people talk about the Jamaican funk of rum, that's what they're referring to, is a weird sort of rotten banana taste. Rotten banana in a good way. So let's start off. Herbal, velvety, boba sweetness. Jamaican style funk, but in a slightly off-tone way because it's cachaça, it's Brazilian. Plenty of sweetness from the sugar itself and the lime kind of tying it together as you get the sourness on the lime intermingling with the various like baking spice notes of the cachaça. You get a little bit more boba all the way through. Ooh, yeah, it has like a sweet, like, weirdness at the end thanks to the cachaça that's accented by the elderflower liqueur. That is so pleasant. Yeah, no, we can try one more drink, and I kind of want to just because this is fun and I like trying new drinks. But yeah, no, definitely, like, elderflower liqueur really does make everything better because it just adds like one additional note to it. Like, it doesn't make the drink that much more complex at all. It adds like one or two notes to it, but those one or two notes just add that little extra je ne sais quoi. It just adds that little bit more that makes it so spectacular, so interesting. And I love it so much. I was thinking it looked like horchata. Yeah, no, shaken drinks tend to be quite cloudy because of the because you're like aerating it a lot, and then also the fact that we're adding a lot of pulp to it because we're just adding the raw limes to it. Makes all the difference with that shake, the MSG of bartending. How do you mean by that, Poke? I'm not sure what you mean by that. The ketchup in there, it's different. Yeah. I mean, Bartender's ketchup is undefeated right now. Let's be honest. Like, Bartender's ketchup is actually kind of goated right now. As a big fan of Smith and Cross, I get, yeah, Smith and Cross is the funky rum. Like it is bananas all the way through. It is like, it tastes of fresh bananas, it tastes of smushed bananas, it tastes like rind bananas. It's like, it is the most banana-y rum that's out there. The freckled banana sweetness, yeah, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Like those like black, like those bananas with like black spots on them that are like overly soft and a little unpleasant to look at. Let's be honest, but you taste it and it still tastes fine. That's what Jamaican funk tastes like. There's an ungodly amount of mosquitoes in my room. I hope you have a fly swatter. Holy shit. Hacker. MSG, it's a new mommy. I know what MSG is. I'm not sure what exactly Poke is referring to though. Is he referring to the elderflower liqueur, or is he referring to the shaking? I guess it does go bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. I always think of that song whenever I think of a Smith and Cross. It feels so cringy. One of my former editor Hobosaki, like, it would clip me doing like a Smith and Cross review, and I just didn't post it because I was so embarrassed by it. I might have to regardless. I mean, he did a lot of good work for me, so I really should post that, but I'm so embarrassed by it. The elder, oh, that's what you mean, Poke? The elderflower liqueur? Yeah, I guess it is. I guess elderflower liqueur is like the MSG of... Elderflower liqueur is the MSG of bartending. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Poke. I found my clickbait thumbnail. I found my clickbait title. I'm gonna put fucking the title of this video will be elderflower liqueur is the MSG of bartending, and then put like and that will be the thumbnail. Oh my god, we're getting 1 million views with this one, boys. Fuyo. I'm joking, obviously. I'm nobody. I'm fucking nobody, but you're so right. Maybe elderflower liqueur is the maybe it shouldn't be called old bartenders. This shit shouldn't be called bartenders. This shit shouldn't be called bartenders ketchup. It should be called bartenders MSG. Hiya. We gained to 1 million with this one. I've gotten to like, I know I got to like 15k with some of my tweets. Let me make sure of something. We're gonna have to scroll back a bit because it's been a while since I've went viral like that, but it was fun. I made a Nimmy cocktail that went viral, and then I made a Sleepy cocktail that went super viral. No. Oh, here we go. Okay, the Sleepy Cocktail got 14,000 views. And it's my biggest tweet ever that wasn't a reply. And then let's see. Where is the Nimmy cocktail? Was it this one? It might have been this one. I think it was this one. Yeah. Oh, the Nimmy cocktail got 15,700 views. The Sleepy post did better, but the Nimmy cocktail got more views. I was proud of both of those drinks, by the way. Like, both of those drinks were absolute bangers. Yeah. Those were my only two posts that ever went viral. I think my one YouTube short. Let me check that out real fast. No. Yeah, 1,800 views. Very good, obviously, but to not nearly the heights of those two VTuber cocktails. I want to make more VTuber cocktails, but I really don't want to make just a shallow, like, TikTok-y VTuber cocktail. I want to make a meaningful cocktail for VTubers. That's why I haven't done one in a while. I don't want to just make a... I guess I'll explain this right now. I guess I'll just explain this right now. The reason I haven't made a VTuber cocktail in a while is because I really want to, like, properly appreciate what the VTuber is about and, like, make a meaningful cocktail based on stuff they like. Make it the right balance. Make it the right... Just make it right. And my issue with a lot of, like, what I keep calling TikTok style cocktails is that what a lot of TikTok cocktails do is they try to emulate a look. Like, okay, what's in the glass is going to be very colorful, very cool looking, but it's not going to be very good. Like, I remember there was a... whatchamacallit, there was a Bales cocktail from Hololive. I don't watch Hololive, but there was a Bales cocktail that was like a play dice thing, where it was like, oh, they took a square cocktail mug and then they put like a bunch of dots on it to represent dice, and they made like this white cocktail with like heavy cream and a bunch of like creamy liquors. Objectively, it sounded nasty. Like, legitimately, it did not sound like a good drink at all. But it got like tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of views because, one, it was Hololive. Two, it was like a really cool looking drink. But it's like, I don't want to make a cocktail that only looks cool. I want to make it taste really good. That's why, like one of my favorite actually, I'm just gonna put it out there. My favorite cocktail of all time is the second drink I made for Mint Fantôme. The first drink I made for Mint Fantôme actually went pretty viral. I forget how many views it got. It wasn't as good as the Nimmy or the Sleepy cocktail, but it definitely was pretty good, and it got like 300 likes. But it was basically just a grasshopper. It was a grasshopper where I put a chocolate rim over it, and then so like it visually was very impressive looking. It visually was like a really impressive looking cocktail, but it was a grasshopper. It was a grasshopper with a chocolate rim on it. It wasn't necessarily that fancy. But I made a second cocktail for mint fantome that was actually like a legitimate, like full-fledged, spirit-forward classic cocktail that I called Chilling Memory. It had actual mints, so not like mint liqueur, but like actual fresh mint, absinthe, gin, lime, and then shaken together. It was so well balanced. It's so delicious. It genuinely, like, I don't understand why mint and absinthe are a more popular thing, because I looked it up on the internet. Not many people are combining mint and absinthe. Mint and absinthe are the best combination of flavors in the world, and I think I'm the only person in the world who has done it so far. Mint and absinthe are so godly together, and then you combine that with the other elements, and I added some French stuff because because mint fantome's like design has like a lot of French made inspiration to it, and like it is based on a corpse survivor, or like that name, like it revives you from the dead. She's a ghost, so corpse survivor feels appropriate for mint fantome. Like, it's meaningful to her while also being like a really well thought out cocktail. That cocktail only got like 15 likes, and like I greatly appreciate anyone who pays attention to anything I do. So I'm not gonna complain about quote unquote only 15 likes when like most people can't even get their first like. But like that, the mint fantome cocktail I invented. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think I invented that cocktail. Is the best cocktail I've ever had in my life, but it won't be as popular as, say, a basic grasshopper that looks a lot like mint fantome, because like that's kind of the TikTok trend of it. And so that's why like I do my channel the way I do my channel. It's like, sure, will it get as many views? I don't think so. And that's part of the reason I had somewhat of a like hesitation to stream last week. But it's also like, I love being able to teach you guys how to make like real cocktails. Also real like proper or classic like bartender cocktails, not just stuff that visually looks good, but is also like absolutely like perfect for like and someone who really does respect the craft of mixology. So also an easy cocktail no one thought of before is a twist on the Cuba Libre, which it uses a vanilla for spiced rum, vanilla Coke. I call it a Cuvania. Is that the correct way to pronounce it? It's gotta have the flavor. Exactly. Because my huge issue with like TikTok cocktails, with a lot of VTuber cocktails, this is why I respect the Zao Music VT, who I've talked so much about Zao Music VT. I've talked so much about Steve Sakai. Those two genuinely respect the art of cocktail making. Those two like read the same books I do. So they read. They are well practiced in mixology. They read a bunch of stuff, and so they're trying to make real cocktails as opposed to like really creamy, really fruity blends and of stuff. Like, I remember there was a VTuber cocktail that went viral that used fucking vodka. I've talked about, I've ranted about vodka before. I don't want to get too much into my vodka rant. Vodka is spicy water. Vodka literally, the diction. I need to look this up for sure, but I believe dictionary definition of vodka is that it's characterized by a lack of character. Like, it is characterized by not being particularly flavorful. And so, yes, vodka cocktails exist. I've made a few vodka cocktails. It's because I didn't want to emphasize a spirit. I wanted to emphasize the side ingredients. So vodka doesn't impart any flavor on a drink. It just adds firepower. It just adds booziness to it. It adds strength to it. And so like vodka cocktails really are just like everything but the vodka. And that's why I don't particularly have a bunch of respect for vodka. But like, and that's the point, is like you can make any fruity drink, just like you can make a Doki Bird cocktail by like putting any yellow juice into it. Like, I don't think bananas have juice, but like pineapple juice, lemon juice, etc. And then putting vodka in it and then saying it's a Doki Bird cocktail because it's yellow in it. It's based on the Doki Bird. But when you taste it, all you taste is like lemonade. You will taste lemonade. You will taste pineapple juice. That gets you drunk. Like it doesn't taste like booze, but you know it's booze because it's getting you drunk. Like that's why that's why I'm not a huge fan of like TikTok style or cocktails, and why again Steve Sakai, Zao Music VT, Zao Music YT, Steve Sakai and Zao Music YT are my actual goats in terms of like VTuber mixology. I'm hoping to become your goat at VTuber mixology. I want to beat those guys. I love them. I respect them so much. I genuinely like Zao Music YT is my sensei. I used to watch him so much. I don't think he streams that often anymore, sadly. And I'm never awake at the right times to watch Steve Sakai. Steve Sakai started mixology way after me, so I'm more. It's more fun for me to watch him grow rather than me learning from him. But I will say I'm jealous of both of them because of the fact that like they do so much better work as YouTubers. Like Zao Music YT is just so charismatic, so talented. He's been doing mixology for way longer than me. Like, I'm so jealous of him, and that's why I want to surpass him. And then like Steve Sakai is just such a hilarious dude, such a charismatic figure, such a funny dude, such a nice dude. Honestly, he's such a paragon. But it's also like, damn, dude, I do think I can outmix you, but like you are such a better YouTuber than me. So it's like I can't blame him for that. Like YouTube is a talent, and he clearly has it way more than me. So it's like I understand why his posts go viral and mine don't, but it's like, damn, dude, like I wanna I like my drinks better than yours, and your drinks are hella good too. I'm sounding like such a narcissist right now, I know, but it's like, you know, I feel like I have to have that confidence in myself, otherwise I'm never gonna make it. I prefer to call it potato juice. Cuvania is also so cute. Oh, spicy water. Yep. Uh, what would be the ultra hot version of a seltzer then? I'm not sure what you mean. It's mostly made of green nowadays. You are the first mixology YouTube creator I've come across, so I dare say you're my mixology go. I'm glad. I definitely am not. How to Drink is the mixology goat, followed by How to Drink, Anders Ericsson. Ugh. Where would I put the next two? There are four I would consider the goats, but How to Drink is my goat, followed by Anders Ericsson, and then there's Steve the Bartender and Educated Barfly as like I'll say tied for my three. Those two are great too. I don't know. You know what they say, confidence is sexy. I'm glad. Oh, good luck with the stream. See ya. Oh, see you later, Hack Controller. Where was I? What did? Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay, this is gonna be a weird one. We have to get to the overhead view for this one. I remembered I came across a random Japanese bartender doing a vertical stream the other day. Sadly, I don't speak Japanese and he didn't speak English. Ooh, yeah. I wanted to do more vertical streams. I have it set up to be able to do vertical streams. Two issues. One, I don't know how to do I don't know where to put my model in a way that wouldn't disrupt the stream. Two, I don't know how to actually, okay, I think I can figure out a way to do a vertical stream. I just don't know if I don't know if if I were to do a vertical stream, it would be this side view, except that I don't know where to put my model then, because obviously it would just be this side view. It wouldn't be like the chat over there and me over here. It would just be everything all at once. So chat would be on the bottom half of the screen. But I wouldn't know where I would put myself. And so I'm not sure how to do a vertical stream that way. And then, yeah. I was thinking of the horizontal cam. I wonder if there's a way to do vertical from this horizontal cam. But I don't... So it would be restricted to this. Like this area roughly. And then so chat would be the bottom half of the screen. And then again, I wouldn't know where to put myself. You know? So it's like, yeah, I don't know what the right way to do this would be. Yeah. I wanted to do more vertical streams because I wanted to do more shorts, but yeah, I'm not sure 100% sure how I would approach this. See, nice seeing more people doing mixology on YouTube. I agree. Do like 1/3 for chat in your model, 2/3 for... The issue is I don't get to decide that. I don't get to just put I don't get to decide where I put chat. It's a YouTube Live would decide where to put chat, and YouTube Live will put it like roughly here-ish, like somewhere between like 30 to 40% of the screen. And then so I would have to put everything like right here roughly, which is something I would have to get used to. And then also like, or if I were to do it from the other cam, I would have to do it like, no, there's not really a good place to do it with this cam. So if I were to do it from the horizontal cam, it would have to be like here-ish. So I'd have to do my work right directly in front of me here. And then like I don't know where I would put my model. I guess I can put my model where the chat is and it just accept the fact that it would be covered by chat, but I'm not very keen on that, let's be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's do one last drink because I'm very curious about this. I'm like drunk to the point that I kind of want to end stream already, but I really want to try this, so give me a sec. That being said, I really want to use the bathroom right now, so be right back. Vertical streams get more views but less attention. Yeah, I mean it's YouTube's attempt to match TikTok. Do like, yeah, I talked about this. Now I do need to leave. I need to wake up early. Yeah, take care of yourself, hacker. Thank you for stopping by. So, okay, this one works out because of the fact that it's actually. Let me grab a line and then I'll start. Okay. Welcome back. I like the cup. Yeah, it's we call this a mule mug. There's a whole story about the mule. Maybe I should tell that story. I mean, obviously there's been a million videos about the mule, but I could probably tell it the way I would tell it. But yeah, the mule is a very interesting drink. And so much so that they made a specific mug for the drink. And it's very reminiscent of the mule. And I do think it's worth discussing the mule. So I just had this thought right now. I just thought of it right now. I had a little bit of a plan to try like, a daiquiri, which turned into a caipirinha, an old fashioned, which turned into both the old fashioned and the IWS. And then so, what if we went turbo simple, like a very low effort, low complexity drink? Now it's gonna become complex because of the spirit we're using, but a mule is one of the most simple drinks out there. So let's try to censor this. So the juice of a lime, just gonna squeeze lime juice into here, and I'm just gonna throw the husk directly into the mule mug, just because the oils, as we've discussed, add flavor. So just squeeze a lime worth of juice in there. Now, my favorite kind of mule is an absinthe mule. Whenever you do something with a full pour of absinthe, instead of a full 2-ounce pour, you tend to want to put 1.5 ounce instead. So instead of 2 ounces, we're going to go with 1.5 ounces of absinthe. Now, normally for a mule, you put your 1 ounce of lime juice, you put your full pour of spirit, and then you top this with ice, then add ginger beer. For the sake of our experiment today, we are actually going to use our elderflower liqueur, our bartender's ketchup. So let us put 1/2 ounce of our bartender's ketchup inside of our mule. And then we're just gonna fill this with ice. Give me a sec. Be right back in a minute. And then we're just gonna top off this mug with ginger beer. Look at that wash line. That wash line is nearly perfect. It nearly reaches the top. That's what's great about this brand, Fever Tree. Fever Tree both is a high quality. Fever Tree is both a high quality mixer because they use real ginger. They tend to be really authentic stuff. But also, these cans are perfectly designed to be for traditional measurements, being the perfect measurement. Like, look at this. The wash line is almost perfect. Looking at the anime I missed, when I looked at the synopsis of Nikitashi, I wonder what a crossover with Shinometa would be like. Oh, I really want to watch that. I'll be honest, I'm kind of like I know you watch whatchamacallit, Captivate Poke, so I do unironically love a bunch of ecchi anime, partly because, you know, I do love me some ecchi. But then what's always great is when you watch an ecchi anime that is actually unironically pretty damn good too. And so, like, I know that's why, like, High School DxD became such a huge hit, because it's an unironically good anime while being very ecchi. High School of the Dead is one of my favorite anime of all time for being a well thought out zombie media. A very well thought out zombie show, but also, like, you know, it's highly ecchi. So, like, I feel the same way as Cap, where it's like ecchi is one of my favorite genres because as it has such a high floor, because, like, if nothing else, there's a ton of eye candy. But then also, when it's good, it's extra good. Teeny tiny sidebar. Thank you, Nonatsu, for making calming vibes. I'll make trying to get my Wordle done. It's kicking my ass, so the mixology is appreciated. I'm so glad. If I'm a comforting presence to you, that's all I need. I'm so glad that anyone watches me at all, let alone if I'm like a relaxing experience to you, if I'm able to teach you something, if I'm just like fun to hang out with. I really truly appreciate it because I need it as much as you. I want to stream so much because I like being able to talk with the chat. I like being able to share my knowledge with people. It's fun to be able to tell people about like these cool drinks I make. It's cool to be able to like talk to people about anime or like VTuber culture or whatever, because it's like there isn't really an outlet. There really isn't an outlet for me to really talk about this stuff with other people. So I'm glad I can go on stream and with other people on the internet, just be able to share with you guys these cool ass drinks I want to make, to teach you about like things I'm experimenting with, to chat about so much random stuff. And so I really do appreciate you guys so much. I've always meant to for a vertical stream you might have to crop your mouth to adjust your head. Yeah, I've seen some stuff like that. I forget which VTubers it was, but like it would be like on the bottom half, it would mostly just be their head, and so I guess that's what I would have to do. I'm not sure. Yes to all those things. Yeah, I'm so glad for you, for Poke, for Hacker Troll earlier, for Filter T, who's usually here. I guess he's busy tonight. For Chibity, like, I appreciate all of you for being here. Like, as much as I want to grow bigger as a VTuber, it's also like, it's comforting. It's comforting to just have anyone here, to be honest. Anyways, let's actually try this meal. Ooh. Okay, so here's the issue with this one. Absinthe is so strong that I can barely detect the elderflower liqueur. Now note the language there. I said barely. I do detect it still, and it does add something to it. So I do think the ketchup analogy still works here. Yeah. So if this was a regular mule, I might have to try this with a less strong liquor rather. Liquor and liquor are separate. I definitely need to try this with a less powerful liquor because absinthe is very turbocharged. Like, what is the percentage here? Yeah, 60%. 60%. Absinthe is very powerful. It's kind of unfair to the elderflower liqueur here. I do taste it though. The elderflower liqueur is really trying to make itself known, despite the fact that it's being overpowered by the absinthe. So yeah, it does add a very interesting profile to it. And this is what I was talking about. Before. The elderflower liqueur exists on a different plane to most other liquors. So like I said, most drinks fall into like this range roughly. Elderflower liqueur exists in this range, so it's never going to clash with any other ingredients. It's never going to clash with other ingredients, so it always adds a little bit to it. I don't think the elderflower liqueur in this case blends very well with the absinthe at all. Like, it doesn't. Like, it just straight up doesn't. But it still adds character to the drink. It adds one more interesting note. That boba flavor is actually pretty delicious and pretty interesting in this drink, despite the fact that it doesn't mesh, because it doesn't clash either. It's not like two things bumping against each other that like don't taste right together. This is really good with the elderflower liqueur. Yeah. So instead of intermingling like you would want most cocktails to do, without clashing, they walk together instead. So it's like, okay, the elderflower liqueur leads off with like its herbal boba-y flavor, and then the absinthe takes over as it brings you like the million different herbs in it, like the wormwood, mint, like tarragon, all sorts of different flavors in the absinthe flavor, in addition to the anise, which is the main flavorant of absinthe. And so the elderflower liqueur leads off, then it gets taken over by the absinthe. But then, like, you get a little bit of accent from the elderflower liqueur to make it just that tad bit more interesting. Like, you're chewing a little bit on boba. It adds that velvetyness. It adds that sweetness. It adds a little more herbaceousness. And so, you do not need the elderflower liqueur at all. But it does add something without clashing with this. And so I do think, technically speaking, it's still improving this drink. Like, you absolutely do not need to add elderflower liqueur to an absinthe mule. I think they call this a bohemian mule. But it doesn't take away anything from it. And then so it is a very fun little, just extra little way of spark. It makes it like 1% better. And like it's not it's not necessary at all. Like, I don't really think that the elderflower liqueur improves my absinthe mule by a reasonable amount, but it does improve it by a little bit, and that's what counts, right? Like for our experiments, like does for our experiment today, as does elderflower liqueur make everything better? I do think yes, it does make it the tiniest bit better. It makes it like 1% better. Is that worth it? Not really, but it does make it better. You know what I mean? Yeah, like honestly, this is just a normal absinthe mule, a bohemian mule, with just like the very slightest touch, of a little like velvety boba, a goodness to enhance it just a little bit more. It's very good. It's very good. But like the elderflower liqueur is not a significant part of this one in particular. I've just been kind of catching up with anime and manga stuff, though I just listen to a manga read through as background noise. I've been catching up in the sense that I've been watching stuff that I've been wanting to watch, but they're not necessarily new. Like, I haven't been watching new stuff. I've just been watching stuff that I've been wanting to watch. Even if they're relatively old, like 2013 stuff, 2014 stuff. I've always been meaning to go back and watch the rest of Killing Bites, which is an ecchi fighting anime that's stupid, but it knows it's stupid in the fighting direction. Wait. Killing Bites was an anime? I thought it was a hentai. Are you telling me Killing Bites was an anime? I could swear to God it was like an H anime with some really, really fucked up faces. Solve my word hole. Congratulations. Oh, we love an extra seasoning. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. It's kind of like seasoning on this. Like it really didn't need it at all, but it's not like it takes away anything. God, I love me an absinthe mule though. I make so many absinthe mules for myself just because it's so low effort. Like a lot of mixology is pretty easy, so all of it's pretty low effort. But like mules are like extra low effort. It's literally squeeze the lime, put a shot of your favorite spirit, top with ginger beer. Like it's so lazy and yet so good. Like, we should, maybe I should do an episode on the story of mules, just because it's so easy and so good. And then we honestly, like the YouTube segment of that episode, if and when we ever do it, would be like 10 minutes long tops, and then we can just chat while I get drunk on mules. Like it's. Yeah, let's do a mule episode one of these days. Yeah. I'll do research on that. I want to do a Carrie Nation episode at some point. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Unless you mean the spin-off manga with the bunny girl being the OC. Wait, what are you talking about? Okay, I totally forgot. Oh man, I'm reminded that Uma Musume season 2 came out, and Super Creek's trainer is so unreasonably hot, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like, she's so like, she's like this tomboy. She has like a bob cut. Like, it's a crazy design. It's so ridiculously pretty and tomboy. But then you add to the funny thing of like Super Creek being very motherly, very like you've probably seen the memes of like all the Goo Goo Baby stuff. And it's it's so she's such a baddie, which only makes it funnier that Super Creek is the way she is. Killing Bites isn't actually an H anime like Near H. I could swear it was an H anime based on the content, because if I recall correctly, doesn't it involve like a lot of insects? Like insect on girl type stuff. Like it's there's some crazy shit with the Killer Bites. I thought assuredly it was an H anime. I wouldn't consider it near H in my opinion. I mean, the evolution of ecchi is very funny, because I think of like well, actually no, DXD, like just showing like bare chests as the was considered like hardcore ecchi back in the day. And then you get to like a Testament. You get to Testament and they're doing like foreplay as as their version of ecchi, and it's so sexualized, it's so crazy and weird. And then, and as Poke mentioned, you get to Ishizoku Reviewers and Nukitashi and like Redo of Healer. And not only is it very clearly they do H stuff. Not only do they do H stuff, it's like it's not even implied. It's just that the camera work, or it's not just implied. It's just that the camera work prevents you from seeing everything, and therefore it's crazy. Your on-stream chat dropped a couple of Pokemon messages. Okay, I can check live chat. I always mean to go back and watch the rest of Killing Bites, which is an ecchi fighting anime, but I know it's stupid and the fighting direction are good. Usually it's mostly generic isekai mangas. Oh yeah, I see. It censored the word. It censored the H word. I suppose it's a furry thing, but there's hardly any segs. Not sure why you would think it's an edo anime. Okay. Unless you mean the spin-off with the bunny girl being in the OC. I still need to get around with High School DxD. There's one anime manga Captivate likes, forget the title. Okay. I wonder if there's a way to adjust that in my How would I adjust that? Alas, my chat thing is all in Japanese, so I don't know how to. I don't know where the Pokés got filtered. I don't think any of his stuff got filtered. Yeah, I don't think any of his got filtered. I know yours did, Cheapity, when you actually said hentai instead of H. Yeah, because I'm looking at live chat right now, and that's what got censored. I didn't see it on my chat app, but I see it in I see it in live chat. Yeah, okay, I see now. Supete. Just want to check something right now. Yeah, I see your eggs and test. Huh. Oh god, how do I fix this now? Give me a sec. Okay, whatever. That works. Okay, so your filter doesn't like eggs with sex at the start. I think that's just YouTube's filter because I don't have any filter. I do see it in live chat if you switch your YouTube chat from top chat to live chat. So on live chat, I see your test, segs, eggs, test. Yeah. In fact, okay, let me just reboot this thing real fast. I just want to reboot it real fast. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, how do I delete that? What the fuck? Okay. Right. It's just not showing up on the on-screen chat. Yeah. Because I think my chat app works off of top chat, not live chat. Checking my live chat is nice though. I see there's not many bots in my stream. I wish I can read the rest of this though, so I can properly like... Because I did something and now I don't know how to close it. And I like... Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna test something real fast. I'm gonna disable it real fast. Uh, Sempre to commento testa. Nope, nope. How do I get rid of this? Furda Sapoto. Okay, that's weird. That's weird. Okay. It should be back on, but also I don't know really how to fix it. Anyways, where was I? I mean, this absinthe mule is absolutely delightful. I do think the elderflower liqueur adds to it, but I don't think it's significant enough to really matter. But it does add to it. So the bartender's ketchup theory still works with this drink. I should probably head out too. It's 2 a.m. and I gotta work in the morning. Oh man, I'm sorry for keeping you up so long, Moot. Take care of yourself. Yeah, I should probably end stream too. We've done plenty of experiments with this. It's been a really fun time, and so I appreciate any of you who came by and helped me experiment with our bartender's ketchup, with our elderflower liqueur experiment. This was fascinating. It really is like legitimately bartender's ketchup. It really does make literally every drink better. So this was an awesome experiment. I'm glad we were able to do this. So yeah, I thought I remember when I thought about doing an elderflower liqueur or experience, that I wanted it to be a little more in-depth, a little more planned out. But honestly, I was just winging this. I was just like fucking around with this, to be 100% frank. But it ended up being a good experiment anyways. We learned that an old-fashioned is better with elderflower liqueur. An improved whiskey cocktail is improved with elderflower liqueur. A caipirinha is better with elderflower liqueur. And now even though it doesn't really matter for a Bohemian Mule, like an absinthe mule is improved with elderflower liqueur too. So elderflower liqueur, like, I try adding half an ounce to it wherever you go. I think you'll surprise yourself, because it's truly some impressive stuff. It's truly like, it truly just adds a dimension to everything that surprisingly always works well. Maybe we'll try this is with bitters next time too, because I know How to Drink considers Angostura bitters as bartender's ketchup as well. So we'll try it with bitters next time. We'll try it with nutmeg next time. Maybe this can be a series. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if we can make a series out of this. So we know for a fact that we know for a fact that elderflower liqueur is bartender's ketchup. Whenever to see if Angostura Bitters deserves its shout as bartender's ketchup. If Nutmeg deserve its shout as Bartender's Ketchup. I think that would be fun. The Elderflower Contour, episode 1. Yep. Thank you, Moo, and thank you, Chibadi, for the Gesundheit and the bless you, by the way. Back to running good? Yeah, I noticed I glitched out for a second this time, so yeah. But yeah, if you're hanging out, Moo, I think it's a good time for me to head out too. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate you guys. This is super fun. As I mentioned, like, I get lonely. So being able to stream and being able to talk to you guys about like my brain rot about mixology and just being able to talk to you guys about just random stuff like anime and VTubers and whatnot, like it really does comfort me to a degree that you couldn't imagine. So one of these days, I really do hope I can be a big streamer. It's why I try so hard at streaming. It's why I'm trying to put out more videos. It's why I'm trying to put out shorts. It's why I keep trying. But also, like even with such a small community, even with just you guys here, you guys make it such a blast to be able to stream. And I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. It makes me happy to stream. It genuinely does. I thought it would be a nice break to not stream last week due to my headache, but then I just felt anxious. Like I felt lost. I felt like I couldn't, because I couldn't express myself somewhere because I couldn't stream. It's like I was lonely. I genuinely, I was just super lonely. So I thank you guys for always being here for me. And it was fun. It was fun being able to experiment with elderflower liqueur. I hope I can tell you guys a lot more about Carry Nation next week, but even if nothing else, maybe we can try an Angostura Bitters experiment. Maybe we can try a Nutmeg experiment next week. I think we have a lot of fun stuff to explore in mixology. So, I hope to see you again next week. Thank you. Stay safe. I'm gonna go grab me some water. Make sure you guys go grab some water too. Thank you for streaming. Make sure to grab a glass of water. Yeah, I will. Happy to support, but as a chronic headache sufferer, please rest. Yeah. I'll make sure to get plenty of rest. I'm probably gonna watch some Netflix just to calm myself down because I'm wide awake. I just am relatively drunk. Also, if you're on Twitch, stick around. I want to raid someone. So if you're on Twitch, just stick around. I want to raid someone. If you're not on Twitch, visit me on twitch.tv/sakutokunonatsu. And then we're going to raid someone. And then also, if you're just on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I will see you again next week. I'm ending the stream on YouTube now. On Twitch, stick around just for a minute or two longer while I find someone to raid. Thank you so much to everyone here, once again.